Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to OneTake, a 15-minute interview series with insurance executives brought to you by InsurTech Denver. This is a unique series in that there are no edits and no do-overs. I'm Marc Wheeler, co-founder of InsurTech Denver, and with us today is a very special guest, Erik Mitisek, founder and CEO of Highwing. Erik, good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you too, Mark. Really appreciate you having us on here today, and can't wait to have a quick one take on what we're doing here in Denver.
Here we go. We're going to make this happen. Well, I know you're pulled in a lot of directions, and it's a privilege and a pleasure to have you join us today. So let's jump right in. For those of you who are not familiar with Highwing, can you tell us about the company and where you're positioned in the industry?
Absolutely, Mark. Really appreciate it. So, Highwing is the first open data platform for commercial insurance. We sit uniquely in the world of middle market and large commercial, and we're exclusively focused on connecting systems, data, and markets to create efficiency, speed, and value for brokers and carriers. Most importantly, when we connect those three components, we create a beautiful user experience and client experience for the insureds. And we're on a mission to make sure that we can save time in the procurement of insurance.
Terrific. That's a great overview for the company. Now, I know a little bit about your background, and it's very broad and very unique in business and here in Denver, the things that you've gotten involved with. What brought you into the insurance industry and into InsurTech?
I've always been one that's been graced and had the opportunity to be able to build businesses and teams at the intersection of grand opportunities. And I think when I look back across my career, whether it was in the early 2000s, music streaming, internet radio, whether it was around the last financial crisis and building data models to help banks solve those problems, or today, really around the future of insurance and technology, I've always been one to be able to bring together teams, ideas, and execute on building companies when things are really starting to move. And back in 2015, when Rob Cohen, the chairman and CEO of IMA Financial Group, and I started talking about what could be done in the world of insurance, it seemed just like a perfect and opportune time to build an amazing client-centered and team-built company in the world of insurance.
Well, the timing was absolutely perfect behind that. Now, with the launch of the business, you've done it within a large organization, um, and did this entrepreneurial approach. So tell us, what have been the pluses or maybe minuses or hindrances, associated with that?
So I was really excited to be able to build something, and I think the proper term is an entrepreneurial startup. Having built four startups from the ground up, either being the founder or having worked for founders in my career, I spent a lot of time in basements and early offices building companies from scratch. This one was very different. We had the opportunity to incubate the idea and the business inside of a multi-million dollar top five independent brokerage in the United States. And for insurance, and specifically in around innovation in insurance, I think it was an incredible opportunity because when you think about the problem we're solving, which is really connecting systems, data, and markets to make insurance associates' lives better, easier, faster, and more enjoyable as they, help buy insurance and place insurance on behalf of their clients. This was an inside baseball idea. This is not something you'd be walking along and saying, my gosh, I really want to solve desk level problems for buying insurance. And it was an opportunity that, having seen it from the inside out, inside of one of the United States' largest and best agencies, we were able to build hand in hand by brokers for brokers technology that really solves problems for desk level associates to be able to do their jobs better, more efficiently, and faster. And I think in this circumstance, an entrepreneurial startup was the perfect solution to bring together something that was one, a grand scale idea to impact the industry at scale, but most importantly, build product quickly with brokers deeply involved in the outcomes of what we were creating.
Oh, that's amazing. And to be able to do that and have that support within the organization as well was great to see. Let me peel back a little bit and let's talk about kind of the industry and what we've seen. There have been numerous articles written recently about how COVID has, impacted the insurance industry and accelerated the digitization within the industry. and things that would have taken years to accomplish. Those type of advancements have happened in, let's say, 9 months. Why do you think it took a crisis like the pandemic for insurance companies and other companies as well, but let's talk about insurance, to make the rapid changes we have seen in the industry?
When I think about insurance and having been involved in it for the greater part of the last 5 years, it's an industry that most often than not, if it's not broken, why do we need to fix it now? It's an incredible business and with great opportunities, and there's a lot of money being generated just by doing business the way that it's been done. If I fill out an application and I send an email to carriers and markets, and I am able to get proposals back, and I'm able to copy and paste those and put those into a great document for my insureds, and ultimately able to bind business. Like, the system's not broken. Billions and billions of dollars annually are transacted over email. And so I think when I think about COVID, the crisis I wasn't necessary to move along the innovation. I think it was just really a function that it just greatly accelerated it. The leading firms in the United States already had a lot of the technologies of moving to the cloud and their digital transformation plans in place. But by moving their workforce to the field, obviously, it was just an accelerant. I mean, I think a lot of these things were in place, and what would have taken 2 or 3 or 5 years took one. And I think now we're in a much better place as an industry, because not only are we able to understand how to run a fully digital organization, but most importantly, we're starting to get used to the tools and the security and the elements that really allow us to work anywhere, and most importantly, solve our clients' problems, whether we're in the office or not.
Yeah, that's a great perspective, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I would agree with many of the elements that you talked about. Now, as your role as a founder, um, what has guided you in launching and building the business? Is it your heart, your mind, your spirit? How have all of those kind of worked together?
I mean, companies to me are, always built by people. And in the insurance industry, we're uniquely situated that the insurance business by nature is a business of relationships and humans. And so the thing that we get most excited about inside of Highwing, and personally what really, really drives me, is I love seeing technology solve problems at scale that allow humans to be happy. And when I think about insurance and I think about the process of actually, gathering client documentation, assembling applications, building submissions, and then ultimately connecting the systems, data, and markets to be able to transact the ability to effectively place risk and be able to offset any exposures that clients may have. The interesting thing is that we've been doing it the same way for a long time, and to see the smiles and the energy around building something that's really impactful to allow the thousands of employees across agencies and carriers and insureds have a better day and a better life really motivates us. And I would say most importantly, as a company, we've built a business that has been highly focused on culture and team around the ability of solving these problems at scale and creating that happiness at the desk. And so when you mix those things up, you have a really, really passionate group of employees that love using and building elegant software to solve problems, and most importantly, experience incredible joy when desk level and insurance executives have the opportunity to really experience a new way of doing business.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, that shows that balance that has to occur, right? And it's that mix of all of those things. And then talking about balance, as the CEO, you're very much a visionary for the business, but there's also the operating side. I think on the early times as you're building the business, how do you maintain the visionary role yet driving the operational side of the business? How do you make that happen?
I think that's always the entrepreneurial paradox. I mean, I think as companies get bigger, I think executive teams have the ability to really be more singularly focused in specific areas around the execution of the company. But early on, when you're building businesses, sub kind of 30 employees, we're a collection of athletes. And whether we're hitting forehands or backhands or doing backflips or handstands, like, everybody in the company is responsible for moving the business forward. And although we hire individual employees and teammates into roles that are specific around the work they do, nothing is below or above anyone's ability to execute. And I think the same is true for me. And so when I think about this stage, I think what's always attracted me to this exact chapter of building businesses is that you have the ability to both think strategically, but always get your hands really dirty in the business every day. And I love being there. And I think that as companies get bigger, it's hard to get your hands dirty in the activities and the desk level things that happen inside of a business every day. And I really enjoy. And I just find that, by doing those things, not only does it allow you to set the example around some of that work, but most importantly, it allows you to really hear what clients and customers need. So as you're building the business, you can just do it that much better from a vision and strategy perspective.
Yeah, that operational side and having a sense of that and a pulse on that and maintaining that, I think you've mentioned is really critical, and I would agree with that. Shifting gears just a little bit, as a business executive, do you think there's an obligation to give back to your community beyond the contributing economics of running a business?
I think you're asking the right guy on that one. I mean, Mark, I mean, in between building four companies and Highwing, I took a 5-year sabbatical in my career to do nothing but really put my shoulder with an amazing group of people here in Denver to, build what we thought could be the innovation hub between the coasts. And I think it's a business's responsibility, and specifically, I would even put a target on entrepreneurs and founders to be deeply involved in the community activities because communities build companies and companies build communities, and so there's a unique relationship between those two partners. And I've always been actively involved here in Denver, and I also think that it's a responsibility of great founders and CEOs to do the same thing. Those who are coming up need the helping hand, and those who have risen up have the ability to reach down and pull those up. So I think there's a very reciprocal process that happens in our communities, and those with community-centered hearts and community-centered minds, karma is undefeated. And so those who give back and those who really help entrepreneurs and companies rise up, they will be rewarded in ways long into the future. And I just think it's not only an obligation, but a responsibility for founders and CEOs to be actively involved in building the community that their employees, their teammates, and their clients all operate in.
Well, I know that, we share that. That's where you and I bump into each other around those other elements within the community and try and take and support where we're at. So let me ask you, when you look at where Highwing is today, what's on the horizon? Where are you taking the business that you'd like to share?
We're really excited about the future. I think we recently closed a Series Seed financing in November of 2020. That really gave us the resources and investors and new partners to take the company to the next level. And next level meaning adding additional clients, both brokers and carriers, to our marketplace. But most importantly, building out the client features and components that really allow us to have that solution out of the box that builds really deep broker satisfaction, right out of the box. And so as we look further into the year, we're going to continue to develop that platform. Most exciting, I think we've got an eye towards a lot of integrations in the space. As one that's really connecting systems, data, and markets together, integrations are paramount for us to be able to provide that value across a wide spectrum of opportunities in insurance. And so, as we look out over the course, the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to see a lot of new exciting names in and around Highwing that we're going to be able to not only enable but empower desk level associates the ability to do their job better, faster, and we hope to put a smile on their face.
Terrific. Well, I can't wait to see more and read more about what the company is going to bring to us. So let's shift gears final time. We're going to go to a fun part. We have a series of rapid questions for you. So let us know what first comes to mind for you. So here we go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Drawings or paintings?
Oh, I love drawings.
All right. Books or movies?
Neither, but I always read books.
All right. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Cake or pie?
Ooh, I love cake.
All right. Comedy or mystery?
Comedy all day long.
Jazz or classical?
Jazz, for sure.
Dancing or singing?
Both. High
All
volume.
right. Like it. Crushed ice or cubed ice?
No ice.
No ice. All right. European there. Um, let's see. Tattoos or piercing?
Neither.
Uh, Bond or born?
Bond?
Yes, James Bond or Jason Bourne.
Oh, James Bond for sure,
All
100%.
right, all right. Numbers or letters?
Numbers.
Star Trek, Star Wars.
Star Trek.
All right. Washing dishes or doing laundry?
Dishes for sure.
Detailed or abstract?
Abstract.
Right. Call or text?
Both.
Ah, Marvel or DC Comics?
Marvel.
All right. Ready, aim, fire or ready, fire, aim?
Ready, fire, aim.
All right. And then the final one, asking questions or answering questions?
I love asking questions.
All right. All right. Very good. Well, so do I. There we are. Well, listen, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been wonderful. We really appreciate your efforts in the community, the leadership that you're demonstrating with Highwing, and your support of InsurTech Denver as well. So thank you so much and have a great day and a great weekend.
Thanks, Mark. We really appreciate it. And everybody that supports the insurance technology community here in Colorado, thank you, thank you, thank you. You and the team are doing amazing work and can't wait to see what's next with InsurTech Denver. Thank you.
Terrific.